Now we're taking a look at another weapons light slash laser. So this is a sighting laser and a weapons light in one. It's made by SIG. It's a SIG STL-900L. So kind of a neat unit. At first, we weren't real excited about it. Once I started playing with it a little bit more and seeing its functions and features, I liked it a little bit more. So I figured it's definitely worth a review. Let's take a look at it. To begin with, it comes in this sort of cardboard box and a little plastic bag with this little booklet of instruction, sort of a pamphlet. Opens up into 4 panels, front and back, and basically tells you what you need to know about the light. I like to open these up because some companies do different, type of literature, and sometimes it's interesting. You get an insight into the company by how much paperwork they give you. So we're looking at a fairly decent little unit here. I'm going to go ahead, since I didn't see anything obvious that tells me the weight, I'm going to just quickly weigh it, because sometimes it can be an issue on an item like this. And it's 3.5 ounces with the batteries installed. It's got a different system, sort of a button, and then you screw it down and it locks in place by being screwed on. It's got a Allen wrench built into it here for adjusting the laser. The laser is a sighting tool, so you want to be able to adjust it, and you can, both up and down and left and right. There's these little rubber nibs that you poke out to access the screws, and then I guess you put those little rubber things back on, and again you can stow the Allen wrench over here on the side again. It seems to be stowed fairly well. I assume though if you pull this out more than a few dozen times, I think it might lose its take on the plastic and start to fall out. Seems very solid. It's not mine to throw around, but definitely made out of aluminum and polymer, so it's not just a polymer like some of the very cheap ones. It's got switches on the back here, and basically the top one is your temporary on. It's a button, and the bottom is your just on off. Then you've got some selectors on the side here. So I think I got the hang of it now. It's a little tricky. The red button is the laser, and you're going to just click that button on and off, I guess. It doesn't give you access through the switch to just the laser, it doesn't seem like. So then your second button is your constant on. Your glow-in-the-dark button is your strobe. Let's say I've got it on and I want to go to strobe. I hit the strobe button, and now every time I turn it on, it's going to go to strobe. If I hit temporary, it's going to go temporary to strobe. Now if I turn it on to strobe and hit the solid button again, it toggled it into the solid position, and now every time I turn it on, it's going to be solid. So not the best user interface, but not the worst either. So I don't have a SIG to put it on, so we're going to put it on this Smith, and it'll fit just fine on most rails as far as I've tested it on Smith, XD, Glock, SIG, and everything I've put it on, it works just fine with. So I just push in the button, I allow it to slide on, and then I just tightened it up here with the sort of built-in key here, and we've tightened it on. Oops, it's not attached all the way. Okay, now it's in place, and now I can tighten it on all the way. Now first off, what I notice is their sight little thing here is sticking out quite a ways, but so is the little key to tighten it. So one way or the other, you got a little bit sticking out of both sides. It's locked in position though, not like some of the others where there's a takedown. However, I gotta say, this is the only thing I've worked with that doesn't have the quick takedown, and I've never had a quick takedown release on me and fall off a pistol or anything. No matter what kind of pistol, everything from 357 SIG to the 10 millimeters, they never just fall off. In any case, now we've got the user interface here on the pistol. Now it's probably made for sure for a SIG, but since I don't have it on a SIG, it's probably not matching up to the trigger guard, as accurately as it would on a SIG. But in any case, you can still get the concept here from both sides, no matter which hand. If you're using your left or your right hand, strong or weak hand, you can access. The bottom button is on constant, the top button is temporary, and that is pretty decent. I don't mind having a button as opposed to the rocker switches. The rocker switches are kind of lame. They are kind of tough to move sometimes, so having a quick button is nice. Thing is, I don't like having to choose if it's going to be temp or not. I like the rocker switches in the respect that as you push down, it's temporary until you let go, or you just keep pushing further and it's on all the way. With most of the other weapons lights, that's the interface. I don't like the laser at all, mainly because of the way you turn it on. You should have ability to turn your laser on with your trigger finger or with your secondary, your support hand. Having to come up and push that button for the laser and no ability to have the laser on temporary, the laser is just on or it's not on, just doesn't seem well thought out to me. To its credit though, the SIG lasers are not as expensive as some of the other lasers out there, and also to its credit, it's ingenious. I'm going to go ahead and turn that laser back on and point it at the camera like I'm fond of doing, and you can see that that laser is inside the bezel of the light. Now I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that's some problem that I'm not aware of, but it certainly to me seems kind of neat that the laser can be enclosed inside the same area as the light, and notice how small it is. They really have a neat concept there. I just wish they gave us some interface for the laser on the back of the unit as well. It's nice and smooth on the bottom. Batteries are fairly easy to get to on the back, and it does stow its own tool, which is handy. So I think for the range, for sighting in a target gun, this is a great one for an indoor range where maybe there's not enough lighting. Great light. I guess I should mention that the spotlight there is not variable, but it's a good solid spot in the center. It's not very large. Some of the other brands offer a larger spot, but again, it's a fairly good throw. I'm not really set up here to judge the throw, but I can point it down my hallway there, and I'm getting a pretty decent shot all the way down the hallway, so I think it does have some throw. It's an LED, so battery life should be good. And I've got both the light and the laser on here, trying to point it at the camera and see what happens. I don't know how effective that's going to be, but anyway, now we're looking at this SIG STL-900L weapons light and laser.